Hey guys, update. I think it's about the final update on my indoor tomato plants. And here's my report. So I had started 4 tomato plants, big boy tomato plants from scratch. And they grew up and I transplanted them in these pots. And I used the Vigoro raised garden bed soil. Excuse me, I'm just trying to get my thoughts together on this here. Used the Vigoro raised garden bed soil, which I don't think they did very well on. They grew up, which is okay. They all grew up, and I finally had to bring them outside onto the deck because I needed space for the chicks to get close to the sliding glass doors. So I had to bring them outside. Kind of got damaged for the outside, but that's okay. Well, the amazing thing is when I put them outside, and amazing not in a good way, is the photosynthesis did not happen very well. So they all got burnt and scalded. All the leaves got burnt and scalded, and the leaves are not their luscious green. Let me go in here. The leaves were not luscious green. It was very, very pale green, and you can see some of the brown where some of the leaves burnt off. So, but as soon as I brought them outside, the flowers stopped flowering on them because evidently they were being attacked by the sun. And these are the tomatoes that had started before I put them outside, and they look very more meaty. I don't know, I guess they look like they need more water or whatnot, but they're starting to ripen. I'm not sure if I'll eat them because of the soil they were put in. I'm not quite sure it was in the soil, but these are kind of large, gangly, sickly plants that came out of all this experiment. And so I don't think it's the kind of tomato plant I planted, because I can usually grow really lush tomato plants, but I do think it's the soil that they were put in. Everything was put in correctly. I watered, I did all this stuff. They all look droopy, and they don't recover when you put in more water. So I don't think it's the water, I think it's the soil. So my experiment with the Vigoro raised garden bed stuff is, don't use that by itself. This looks like it's new growth, and the new growth looks a little bit better. But as you can see, there's no flowers on these, which is what they should be doing constantly. They should constantly be flowering and self-pollinating, and by this time we should be hip deep in tomatoes, and we're not. So my big advice is, you could probably do the Vigoro raised garden bed soil, but what you also need to do is put in your compost, put in your peat, put in your compost, put in a little bit of, what do you call it? Bone, the powdered bone meal and things like that, that I never got to put in here. But it looks like this is definitely a kind of a starving plant. It's not really thriving, it's really just being there. Not quite sure of the stuff on top. Maybe I'll look at this later in the playback, but most of the leaves look like this. They're covered in water, but they're very light, they're very pale, they're very spotty, they're very droopy and folded in, and nothing you can do, no amount of water you can water them with is going to flesh them out and get them less droopy and less stable. So anyways, so this is my big experiment. My mom liked seeing them grow inside, and then the aide would bring her over after mom's shower and let her see the plants, which were green and doing okay. But again, they're very thin. They don't have a lot of leaves on them for their height. They don't have a lot of leaves. So, and then Mom got less interested in the plants and more interested in the chicks. So, yeah. And the chicks, as I said, needed to be next to the window, next to the slider, more than I needed these plants. So, but it was a good experiment. It was kind of how I expected it to go. just doing the store-bought soil was not the key to happiness for these plants. But so in case you want to just buy soil and stick stuff in the soil, yeah, you need to amend it with the nice stuff, with the stuff that will let it grow and let it flourish. And also, I think next time I would, as soon as the frost was over, I should have kicked these plants outside, and I waited until it was hot. And then it was a big shocker for them. So anyways, all right, so that's my report. Hope you're having a good one. Take care. Bye.